Hello? Hello to you out there. This is me, Cliff, talking to myself for another hour and a half. But the beauty is, although I'm talking to myself, I have an audience. At least I hope I've got an audience today. I normally do. An audience of all you guys from Vietnam. We come together to talk about the weather. That was a rhyme. It's live streaming with me, Cliff. Told you I'll be back Wednesday, and here I am, talking to you just after 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Vietnamese time. As some of you should already know, that's 3 p.m. in England. We're still in the afternoon. You are middle evening? Middle of the evening, would you say? Or is that late evening? Call it what you like. It's evening. I'm sure it's dark. But the important thing is, I hope you're there. I hope you'll be there and join in. Join in today's topic. It's about the weather. The weather is a frequently spoken about subject in England. It's a conversation starter. People, even more likely strangers, but even friends, could start their conversation by saying, "Oh, it's cold today, isn't it?" Or, "Oh, I'm hot. What a lovely day." Typical, raining again. That's what it's like. A lot of people talk about the weather. A popular topic in a country like mine, England, the UK. During the course of the year, we experience most types of weather. I say most types of weather because we don't really have the extreme weathers like hurricanes, tornadoes, these strong winds, thank goodness. If we have any rain, it's not going to be monsoon type rain. It'll be heavy, stormy, but not monsoon rain. Din Pung, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining in our topic today about the weather. Heavy rain in Vietnam. You see, it's autumn. I'm right to say it's autumn in Vietnam, and I'm sorry that you're having this heavy rain. But what about your temperature? Have you still got a high temperature? A lot of the time in Vietnam, you have had a high temperature, even though your weather may be cloudy and overcast, rain, heavy rain, which is what you've got at the moment. So sorry for you. Keep dry. Hello, good evening, son. Good evening, my son, Twin. How are you? Thank you once again for joining in our topic today, which is the weather. We're talking about the weather. How are you today, son? Did you have a good day? A good day at work? It's been a good day for me, because I haven't done any work. This is my work. If I'm helping people, Vietnamese people learning English, that is job done, as far as I'm concerned. Job done. So while you got heavy rain in Vietnam, I hate to tell you this, but the sun has just come out in England. It's cloudy, but we have sunshine. So make of that what you will. Shoot that phone. That will go off soon, don't worry. That's right, so it's cloudy, it's sunshine, it's dry. But it's summer. It's summer in England. It's autumn in Vietnam. So perhaps you should expect rainy weather, wet weather this time of year. In the summer season, which is what we got in England now, we would expect hot weather, sunshine, but because of our location, Northern Hemisphere, we don't always get that. Sometimes, some days, we have rain, we have wet weather in our summer. Just like yourselves in Vietnam, we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. An American person would say fall instead of autumn, but the majority of English-speaking countries call it autumn. That's what you're in now, autumn. You are 1 season ahead of England, of the United Kingdom. Our autumn will start next month, September. About the middle of September is when we start to feel autumn. But that's not a guarantee that the weather will be dull and cloudy, because that can happen any time of year. Summer, we get days like that in the summer. It wouldn't surprise me if we get some warmer days in the autumn, especially around the September. They call it a late summer. If we have a good September, lovely weather, hot, sunny, that's known as a late summer. I hope we do have a late summer. The only trouble with that is people are back to work by then. This is the time of year that a lot of people, English people, like to have their holidays. Have their holiday from work. A lot of people would go abroad, go to another country, where, in most cases, you are guaranteed hot weather, hot and sunny. But you still have a lot of people who wish to stay here, and of course a lot of people who want to visit England. This is our summer. People, if they want to visit England as a tourist, it's likely to happen all year round, but especially in our summer months. Middle of June to the middle of August. I beg your pardon, middle of September. We're coming up to late August now. So middle of June to middle of September, that's 3 months of summer. But sometimes it just doesn't feel like summer. It's a shame, but what can we do? We can't control the weather. We just have to be lucky. Mr. Ching, thank you for joining in and thank you for sharing. Good to have your company on this Wednesday evening. This rather heavy rain Wednesday evening, I've been told, in Vietnam. And that's what we're talking about today, the weather. Next Monday in England, we have a public holiday, and public holidays on most occasions seem to be bad weather. We seem to have bad weather. It's bad luck. People arrange things for the long weekend. No work Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You plan something outdoors, and what happens? Yes, it starts raining. Yes, once again, Mr. Ching, thank you for joining in. And public holidays, you have them as well in Vietnam. I understand that. Are you likely to do something special? An outdoor event, perhaps? It's a public holiday. Not many people will be working. But what happens? You organise a public event, tell people to come along, people look forward to it, and then it rains. That will stop people from turning up, won't it? People may not bother to come along to your event because of the bad weather. It's such a shame, all that organising. Hi daughter, thank you for watching. Hope you can join in. Great to see you. Hope you've had a good day and you're feeling good and you're not bothered about your bad weather at the moment, because I've been told you have heavy rain tonight in Vietnam. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't like rain. We need rain. People straight away will say, yeah, if you complain about rain, oh no, it's raining again. You will always find people say, that's okay. It's good for the garden. We need the rain. It's good for our water reservoirs. We do need rain. My argument is, why does it rain when I want to do an outdoor event? Please rain when I'm indoors, or perhaps of a night time. Rain does spoil outdoor events. I play walking football now. This time of year I play outdoor bowling. Very good fun, but not so good when it rains. That's when we want somewhere in the middle. Not a very hot day, otherwise we will be wiping our faces all the time. Somewhere in the middle, a nice even temperature of about 20 degrees. That's a comfortable temperature. The sort of temperature you're likely to get in England. Thank you for sharing, daughter, and everybody else. Thank you for sharing this live stream about the weather. You know, I've been to Vietnam twice this year. I've been in April and July. Okay, only 3 months between them, but can you believe both the months, different seasons, summer, autumn, different seasons, but the same sort of weather. Both times I came to your country, we had cloudy, overcast skies, sometimes rain, especially morning and night time. But as I said, what can we do? We can't predict it. Nowadays, of course, there is global warming which makes the weather even more unpredictable. Having said that, every country has its own weather reports, its own meteorological office. Meteorology is the study of weather. Meteorology. Every country has its own I can't say it now. It's a long word. Meteorological office. Met Office. Some people on television prefer to call it the Met Office. M-E-T. It's easier to say. It's shorter. But people who work there, they are finding out, looking into the short range weather forecast of our country, of the world. People want to travel. When I come to Vietnam, I like to know in advance what the weather's going to be like. Then I know what to bring along, what to put in my case, how to dress. I've never known it to be cold in Vietnam, and I've been going to your country for 9 occasions, different times of the year. Once I came in November, the end of November, and there was an outdoor event at the Hanoi University of Industry. It was Let's Club, Learn English Together Club, which I took part in, and the students were wearing pullovers, big coats, hats. November, it was cold for you people. But me, I turned up in just a t-shirt. And people are saying to me, "You must be cold. Put a coat on. Oh no, you must be freezing cold." And I said, I'm not. Because my country, England, is colder. These temperatures that you were having on that day were roughly about 10 degrees. Now that's okay for me. That's not cold in my opinion. I come from a country which is a lot cooler climate than yours. So 10 degrees is okay. If you guys from Vietnam want a cold climate, then come to England or try to feel the way we feel when we get temperatures of 3 degrees, lower. How about 0 degrees? We get them. Less than 0 degrees, minus degrees. That's when you're likely to get snow and ice. That sort of weather you will see around winter time, of course. You might be unlucky to get them in spring as well. Ah, Miss Chan, thank you. Thank you for watching and for sending your lovely hearts to me as well. You're so kind. Miss Chan, thank you, and hope you can join in. You with the lovely pizzas. Working in the supermarket with those pizzas and the bread. Very nice. It's not good weather in Vietnam. Even the sun's gone out now in England. But what sort of weather do we like though? There's a mixture of weathers. So you tell me what sort of weather you like. Do you like hot, sunny days? Do you just like a cooler temperature? Do you like blue sky? Do you like rain? Maybe some people do. Have you seen snow? Maybe you've seen it on television, on films. Have you been to supper? I have been once, and I'm sure you're aware, a very mountainous, beautiful region in North Vietnam, but at the top of these mountains you have snow. It's cold at the top, even I think so, but that's when you need cold weather for snow. In the winter months, sometimes late autumn, sometimes early spring, I'm likely to walk out of my house in the morning, going to work, roughly about 7 o'clock, and it will be cold. I need to wrap up warm, pullover, big coat, maybe a hat, perhaps a woolly hat. So I can experience freezing cold weather, less than 0 degrees. And when that happens, then you're likely to get ice on the roads, on the pavement, on the parked cars, on my bus. I drive a small minibus. I park the bus near where I live. So when I go to my bus, walk to it in the morning, during the winter, on a freezing cold morning, I have to scrape the ice off the windows. Otherwise I can't see. That can take at least 5 minutes of my time. The answer is to scrape. Do not pour hot water. We're all told do not pour hot water on freezing cold windscreens because the glass will crack. So we have to scrape, scrape, scrape. We have a spray, de-icer. It's called de-icer. You spray it. The liquid that you spray, that gets rid of the ice. It melts it. You like summer? Very good, Dew. Thank you for joining in, by the way, Miss Dew. And, oh, you like the beach, do you? When I go on holiday, I like a beach holiday. I like some time on the beach, but other time to explore, sightseeing. So, but to go on the beach or lay by the pool, you need a summer, but more importantly, you need that sun out. Summer, as we said earlier, is not always guaranteed sunshine. You could be unlucky. We are in England sometimes, where you might get rainy days. Go to the beach, rainy days. Ha! Thank you for watching. It's good to have you company. I hope you, Miss Dew, and Twee, I hope all of you are feeling good today. And thank you for joining in our topic, which is the weather. Ha, you like spring? Now spring, that's the time of year, as we know, where the flowers grow. It's a fresh time of year. I like it too. Every season has its every season is good in its own way. Even winter. There's an atmosphere about staying indoors while it's freezing cold outside, and we got our fires on in our homes. Maybe in my country and other countries we associate winter with Christmas. That's a good way of doing things. Very good way of doing things, Sang. So you're not really wasting a day. When it's raining, you're not miserable. Oh no, it's raining. You're reading a book, listening to music. You are still able to do things. You're not going to let anything get in your way. Very good. A warm weather in spring, that's right, you don't want it too hot like it can get in summer. Sometimes a little unbearable. Some of your summers, I know, 40 degrees. Oh, that's too hot. But a warmer weather in spring and many festivals. Do you go to these festivals? And if you do, I hope the rain doesn't spoil it. I hope you don't get bad weather when these festivals are on. And if you do, what happens? Do they still go ahead? Maybe undercover. I hope so. Swimming in the rain is very funny. Well done for swimming in the first place, because I can't swim. But even if I could swim, I don't know if I'd want to swim in the rain. But I'm glad you find it funny. First of all, swimming, if you're doing outdoor swimming, you would want a hot month, like you'd want the summer months when it gets hot. But as we know, sometimes we get rain during the summer. So there you are, swimming in the sea. Are you in the sea or are you in a pool? I should imagine if you're outdoors, it'll be a hotel pool, perhaps the sea. But rain as well. I hope you can control yourself. I hope you can control your swimming. But I'm glad you find it funny. As I said earlier, I do sports outdoors, like walking football, bowling. Yes, outdoor bowling this time of year, summertime in England. So I don't want rain when I'm playing these games. I don't want rain. The football season in England has started. When I'm going to and from a football match to watch, I don't want to do that when it's raining. It's a long way back to the car when I park my car to go to a football match, walking through that rain. All those poor footballers who had to play football in the rain. All those Premiership footballers who are on thousands and millions of pounds per year, running around kicking a ball in the rain. Oh, how I pity them. Now, in my country, in England and this part of the world, we're likely to get not too extreme weather. We get everything. We get sun, wind, rain, snow in the winter. So we get a mixed bag of weather, but we don't get any extreme weathers. Ah, that's sweet. Every now and then, you're likely to see people flying kites in England, and I'm glad that goes on in Vietnam as well. Windy weather obviously blows that kite about, doesn't it? And then you need a big park, a big open space for that to happen. Good fun for the children. Very good. But what about these extreme weathers? When I say extreme, I don't mean you're hot 40 degrees temperatures, it could be strong winds, strong rain. I know you get, is it typhoon? You get from, it comes over from the Philippines, the Philippine Islands. They seem to go across there every once a year, or hopefully not as often as that. But when it does, it causes a lot of damage to countries like the Philippines. If you get strong, extremely strong weather, wind. Depending what parts of the world you're from, because they get that sort of weather in the Caribbean, the very south of the USA. Typhoon, very strong weather. Tornado, what about a tornado? Look how strong they are, extremely strong, windy. These strong winds and rain, yes, we have storms occasionally in England, but certain parts of the world have tropical storms. There's also monsoon rain. I believe a lot of Asian countries, perhaps Vietnam, I believe you have monsoon rain, extremely heavy, creates flooding, big, huge, massive puddles at best, but sometimes flooding. That's not nice. I hope there is none of this bad, extremely bad weather, but it can happen. We don't know when, but it can. And as you said, it can destroy crops. You have a sugarcane garden, and very nice, lovely to grow your own sugarcane, and fruits and vegetables if anybody grows that. But when you get extreme weather like a typhoon, that could ruin the crop. Very sad, but that's what it can do. There's not really a lot you can do in that situation. It might be too early to harvest the crop, to pick the crop and take it indoors. It might not be ready, may not be ripe. That's sad, because it can destroy any farming, any crops that you grow, and also it can be extremely inconvenient to yourselves if you're doing anything, if you've got anything planned. The last thing you want to do is go to an outdoor event, a festival, anything outdoors, and you've got this strong typhoon. It's dangerous. It causes problems. Have you seen on TV the problems it's caused in other countries? I hope it doesn't happen in Vietnam. I really hope not. What is the reason for these extreme climates that we're getting? Do you blame global warming? Is it the ozone? A hole in the ozone layer? Is that the cause of it? Why are we getting weather that is not suitable for the time of year? In summer, You want the sun to come out. You want blue sky. In the winter, yes, cold winters are okay. Rain, we accept that. But we're getting it all different times of the year as well. In England, June, the month of June, was lovely. We had some lovely weather. Hot, sunny. I was working. But here we are, middle of August, school holiday, and we're getting mixed weather. I'm looking up and seeing grey skies coming over in England. Only 20 minutes ago, we had sunshine. Different weather. So, generally speaking, what do we do about it? You're part of Vietnam. You're in the north. You have 4 seasons. The same as England. Also, another similarity I found, another thing we have in common between the people of England, the UK, and the people of North Vietnam in particular, is that we like to complain about the weather. When I meet people, talk to Vietnamese people on Facebook, or perhaps when I'm there, when I'm in your country, people do like to talk about the weather or make a reference to the weather, because it's different. How many of you have been to the south of Vietnam? It's hotter. You only have 2 seasons. But it's hotter. It's on line with northern Thailand, Bangkok, that area. Oh, it's all different in England. As I said, we get different weathers. We have the 4 seasons, but generally speaking, autumn is extremely cold, gets a bit warmer in the spring, as hot as it's ever going to be in the summer, and then cool down in the autumn. That's what we expect. But some days doesn't always work that way. Sometimes we're going to have hot autumns, hot springs, cooler summer. Hello Tao, good to see you. Tao Ann has joined us. Thank you for joining in. And also our friend there, Twa. You love autumn. Autumn is a nice time. All seasons are good in their own way, and I agree with you, autumn is a nice season. It's pretty. Autumn is pretty. The trees in particular, the leaves change colour. You're cooling down from a hot summer. Autumn is nice. Tao, I hope you're fine. I hope you are feeling good, and I hope you can join in. Join in. You're right, Ha. Yes, Ha. Your temperature is of a tropical climate, unlike our country, unlike England. That's why a lot of English people go abroad, go to other countries, not only to see the places of interest, the culture, the people, the food, but also get some decent weather. Guaranteed, or in most cases guaranteed. Tao, you're in Malaysia. Wow. Very hot, because it's further south, nearer the equator than what Vietnam is, so it will be hot. What are you doing there, Tao? Are you on holiday there? Are you working there? I like Malaysia. I've been there once, and I'm thinking of going back again next year. Plus going back to Vietnam, of course, but I'm also thinking of Malaysia as well. 2 holidays. Ooh, if I can afford it. Back to work full time in September. See if I can save my money up. The dry season and the rainy season. I see. That's right, your 2 seasons in the south. The dry season, presumably, is when the tourists, when the holiday makers like to go and visit. I've been to South Vietnam. I can't remember, I think it was March. Is that dry season? I went in March, I'm sure it was. In the year 2003. We didn't have any rain. The weather was nice. Sorry, I'm calling you Ha. Am I going to pronounce this right? Hui? Hui. H-U-Y. You want me to call you Hui? Providing I'm pronouncing it right. I hope so. Your first name is Ha, but your name is Hui. Hui is okay? Hui? Let's do that. I like you. You're always looking out for these live streams and joining in. Just like the rest of you people, like Tao Ang. People like you who join in all the time. It's great to have your company. I really do appreciate it. I love the way you join in with these different topics that we have. But more importantly, I hope you're learning English as well from me, a native speaker. Really? You're really going to the UK in 2 weeks' time? What parts of the UK? Are you going to London? You need to tell me more. Do you know, I'd love to meet up with you. That would be so nice. And can I say how lucky you are to be doing this travelling? How come you are able to do this travelling? That's a lot of money. To go to Malaysia, then to the UK. Wow. Tell me more about your travelling. Tell me where you're going to in the UK. I hope we can meet up. Bring your umbrella. Bring some warmer clothing, because you might think it's cold. I don't think I will, but you might think it's colder than your country. Oh, hey, I hope you can. I hope you can. There's, I'm sure you've heard a lot about England. The best time of year, people will tell you, is from the middle of June to the middle of September. That is our summer. But anything can happen. Anything can happen in the weather, as we know. You've done the right thing, Tao, by preparing a lot of sweaters. You will find it cold. It's going to be cold for you. Not for me, I'm used to it. But you will find it colder than your country, so you're doing the right thing. Do you think so? Thank you for joining again, Pyro Sparks. Still like your name. Thank you for joining in once again. But I have been to Vietnam on a cold climate. I went to Vietnam once in November, and I was the only one wearing a t-shirt. Everybody else was wearing warmer clothes, and I didn't feel cold. Didn't really feel uncomfortable. It wasn't as sticky like it can be in your hot summers. Now they can be sticky, humid. That's an uncomfortable heat. When you're over 30 degrees, that's why you need a fan. You need air conditioning. A lot of, yes. Yes, that's it, a lot of sweaters. Yeah, I understood you, Tao. You will need them. You will need them. When was that, my friend? Your sister studied abroad in the UK. When and where? In London? I live near London. But there's quite a few cities in the UK. Presumably she studied at a university, and there's quite a lot of them. I live just outside of London, Tao Ann. I've lived in London most of my life, but I decided to move just outside, where it's less polluted, less populated, and I feel happier nowadays. You have spelt Sheffield absolutely right. Well done. The city of Sheffield is in the north-east of England. I actually haven't been there, but I am aware of its existence. I think most people, whether you're in England or even anywhere else in the world, you're likely to know an English city if they have a famous football team in it. Who would have heard of Manchester had they not have had Manchester United Football Club? Tao, I don't know about that. We do have snow, but you won't see snow when you come here. It's likely to snow in the early part of the year, or perhaps the end of the year. December, January, February, maybe even March. You could get snow during that time. The temperature has got to be extremely cold, and sometimes it is. The thing with the UK in general, United Kingdom, if you really do want to see snow, you're better off going to the northern countries like Scotland. Scotland, if you go the further north of Scotland you go, the more higher up the mountainous region, you'll get more snow there compared with down in the south of England. You have, Tao, if you've gone there, if you're coming to England, to London to see snow, you're going to be a little too early for that, a little disappointed, unless you're lucky. You never know. Stranger things have happened, as they say. But I hope, well, the important thing is I hope you have a great time in London. I don't think you'll see snow, but you'll have a great time. Hey, what's all this? Hey. Hi. Oh, I hope that improves. I hope things get better. I hope your connection gets back to normal. Then you can hear me again. Whoever's responsible for all this, do something about it. make that connection good so you can hear me again. I hope you can. Yes, when we're young people in the UK like snow. Snow is fun for children. You can go out into the park, throw snowballs. You can make snowman. Make a snowman. That's good. Yes, you can have fun in the snow. As you get older, not quite so fun. There's loads of places to visit in London. The Tower of London, St Paul's Cathedral, Trafalgar Square. Go on the boat along the River Thames to take you to Greenwich. We have lots of museums. The Docklands area is very good. A nice, good-looking financial district with many towers. Lovely parks in the centre of London. Quite a green city. Amazing how many big parks there are. Do you like shopping? Bring plenty of money. England is expensive, I'm afraid. It is expensive. There's some good shops in the centre of London. Oxford Street. Good shopping. But more importantly, let's hope you get some, well, I was going to say, let's hope you get some good weather. But you want snow. As I said, good luck, but I will be extremely surprised if you see snow in September. I presume it's September when you're coming to London. I think so, Tal. Bring an umbrella, because you never know when it's going to rain, but we do get a lot of rain. So I would recommend you bring an umbrella. So that's an umbrella, warm sweaters, lots of money, and when you're here, let me know. I'd love to meet you. Green tea. That's what you have, isn't it? You have that in your country. So, have we covered everything about the weather? Or have we missed anything out? Only 5 days. You've got a lot to see. If you want to cover the whole of London, you've got a lot to see and a lot of money to spend in 5 days. I hope you can do it. Keep in touch. Let me know. And if we can meet up and I can be your guide, that would be good. You know, in North Vietnam, you have unpredictable weather. Your summers, anything, if it's anything like when I was in your country in the summer, overcast weather, rain sometimes, extremely humid. But, what climate do you want? Are there any other countries that you would prefer to have their climate? Yes, Tal, because we're further north We're in the northern hemisphere. We're a bit further north. If you look at a map of the world, you will see that the UK is further north than Vietnam is. Although we're a long way apart. And the further north you go, the same with the further south you go, the colder it gets. The more nearer the middle you go, nearer the equator, the hotter it gets. That's why in Malaysia you will find it very hot. The coldest place in the UK must be north of Scotland, because as I said just now, the further north you go, the colder it's likely to get. You're near the you got the world. The world is round. You have the North Pole, the South Pole, Arctic, Antarctic. Any country near those, and we're reasonable distance from those, but a lot nearer than what you are in Vietnam, it's going to be cold. So, generally speaking, you will think it's a cold country. As for the hottest part of the UK, I've been told that the southwest of the country can be the hottest. When we have hot days, normally the southwest of England gets the top climates. But London is in the southeast of England. We get some good weather. We're not as cold as the rest of the UK, so we get good weather as well. But it's still going to be cooler than what you're used to. If you're very hot temperatures in the summer of Vietnam, and at the moment in Malaysia, the nearer the equator you go, the hotter it gets. I was in Singapore in April. Very hot, near the equator, near the middle of the world. Is that the sort of temperature you like? Do you want a consistent temperature? Would you like to be living in a country where it's hot, dry, sunny every day? Like a desert weather. How about North Africa? Go to some of these North African countries. I've been to Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt. They're hot. They're dry. It's kind of like a dry heat. And they're near a desert. Oh, Dale, you get around. You do get around, don't you? You're off to Singapore tomorrow. It's a lovely country. Very small. Big, clean, modern city. I'm guessing the weather is going to be hot and sunny. It nearly always is in Singapore. It will be hot. Hotter than Malaysia. Lovely hot country. Small country. Plenty to do in Singapore. Go down to the marine harbour. Have a look in the gardens, the museum. Have a boat trip around the bay. Look at the statues. Look at those 3 hotels with a sky park on top of them. Get a cable car over to Sentosa Island. Yes, I've been 2 times. Both times I was there for 4 days. If you get the cable car to Sentosa Island, again, lovely and hot, It should be this time of year. If you go there, it's very entertaining. You have film studios. You have a Hard Rock Cafe. You have things to do there. It's good. Yes, I like Singapore, but it's not the sort of country you could spend 2 weeks in. If you have a long holiday, which is what you're having by the look of it, you would have it as part of your holiday. Part of your holiday. And you're certainly choosing some nice countries to visit. Malaysia, Singapore. And then after that, you're flying all the way to the UK, which, although is good, is going to be a different climate. It won't be hot like it is in Singapore. So, be warned. Expect a cold weather. Possibly rain. But people don't really come to England for the weather because it's unpredictable. If you want to go on a holiday for good weather, you don't go to England. You go to a beach resort. Go to Thailand, Malaysia, where you are now. Go nearer the equator. Perhaps a lot of English people, British people, they like going to the Mediterranean Sea, and the countries that border this sea: Spain, Italy, Greece, Turkey. Nice countries, quite cheap. And they got beaches. It's warm. The Mediterranean's hot. Young people like it in these countries. You have the Spanish islands in particular, and the Greek islands, of course, but Spanish, Ibiza, Mallorca, those islands, they're party islands. Young people go there to listen, dance to the music all night. Too young for me. I can't go there. So who wants to see snow? Has anybody seen snow? Anybody on here now? Have you seen snow? Have you touched snow? Have you been lucky enough to be in a country where there has been snow? Okay, Tal, but lovely to talk to you as usual. Hope to see you again over the weekend. I bet you are. Because there's a time difference, isn't there? A time difference. So, hope to talk to you again. Enjoy your holiday. Hope to see you in England, as I said. That would be so nice. So, has anybody seen snow, or am I the only one? Have you been to Sapa? Have you been up to the top of Mount Fansipan? That's what it's called, isn't it? I hope you have. If not, I hope you do. A good experience in one of Asia's tallest mountains. And when you go, I hope you see the snow. I hope you do. A good experience. Nice soft snow. when you get older, then you don't really like snow so much. It looks pretty. If you see snow in the fields, on houses, in a park, it looks pretty. But it's also dangerous to walk on, especially when it starts melting, turns into ice. You have to be careful when you're walking. If you're a driver, like me, you had to scrape the snow off your car, in my case the bus. So, and it's freezing cold outside. So there is inconvenience with snow. It is an extreme temperature, an extreme weather condition, which we get sometimes in the UK. I think you'd like to see snow, wouldn't you? And I hope you do. I hope you get a chance to see it. I hope it stopped raining now as well for you. Do you think that's a nuisance? When you're sleeping, do you wake up with heavy rain? Does heavy rain wake you up? As I said earlier, we need rain, but we don't really want heavy rain though. Sometimes you can get too much rain. You're so tired. Oh, Dal, you're so tired. Go to sleep, my dear. It's okay. Go to sleep and I'll talk to you. Trying to think when. I'm not sure when my next one is, when the next live stream is, because I've got quite a busy weekend. It's a public holiday this weekend in England. The public holiday is Monday. But I've got bowling matches Saturday, Sunday and tomorrow. I'm bowling all day, outdoors, on grass, so I hope I get good weather. No rain, please. I don't want to get wet when I bowl. The best way, if you're having an event, an outdoor event, and you can't really predict the weather, is to have it under cover. Not necessarily indoors. Under cover. Have, what do we call it? He says, trying to think of the English name of it. If you can have put up the poles, put the roof on, like a marquee. Have you heard of marquee? A marquee can be put up in an open space, a field, a garden. It can be plastic, it can be anything, but in most occasions it's plastic, and it encloses. It keeps you in an enclosure outdoors, but you're away from anything, but more importantly, any bad weather. It has a roof on it. Very important when you cannot tell what the weather's going to be like. and we can't. How many people actually look at weather forecasts? You have them on television, on the internet, on your phones. Do you look to see what the weather's going to be like tomorrow or any other day if you have something planned? And do you think to yourself, right, I'm doing something on Sunday, let's have a look, see what the weather's like. Ah, dry, sunny, that's good. Ah, that's lucky. But then, if you're doing that, how many times has the weather forecast been wrong? The weather forecast may say sunny, hot, dry, and then when you go to an event, all of a sudden the grey sky appears, starts to rain. They've got it wrong. These people are paid a lot of money to predict our weather, warn us about the weather. But they're not always right. Even with modern technology, not always right. But they're the best we've got. We've got to go by them. We can't make our mind up ourselves what the weather's going to be like. We have to rely on these people to tell us and hope they are right. If they're not, we could be quite disappointed, especially if we're going somewhere, going out for the day, go to the beach, go to Hunkim Lake. Not very nice on a wet day. I don't think you'll see many tourists, foreign tourists around there on a very wet weekend. So you want to hope that the weather is better when you plan something, plan an event, plan to go somewhere. I'm going to let you all go to sleep because I believe time is getting on. He says, looking at the time. Yep. Let's do this another time. Not sure when, but we'll let you know because, as I said, busy weekend coming up. Weather permitting. For you people, I hope your weather gets better. Don't want rain every day. So, good luck with your weather. Hope you get some nice dry days. But more importantly, enjoy the rest of the evening, what there is left of it. And sleep well. Sleep well, sleep tight. See you again. Take care, everybody. Bye.